Hello, I'm Alex Mansfield, the host of Manny Talks Shooting, and welcome to another episode. This is the shooting podcast where I talk to individuals all across the shooting industry. We'll talk competition, self-defense, concealed carry. If you like this content, check out our YouTube channel, Manny Talks Shooting. And without further ado, let's get to this episode. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the next installment of Manny Talks Shooting, the shooting podcast where I talk to people on the internet because I want to, because you listen, and I enjoy it. So that's a good plug. Without further ado, let's talk about today's sponsor, the best sponsor, the title sponsor is Go Fast Don't Suck. So go over there, gofastdon'tsuck.net. Tell Bill that Manny sent you. Go get some dry fire targets. Go get a match jersey. Go get some banners because we all know we like our banner in the background. So go check out Bill at gofastdon'tsuck.net and tell him I sent you and move on with your day. Without further ado, now let's talk about the person on the show, Mr. Nathan Dively of DivTech. How you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic. It's been a long time coming. We've been chit-chatting for a while now, and I think it was about time we got you on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here and excited to, be part of the world that you have. It's pretty awesome. I've been following a lot of your episodes, and I'm just honored to be on here now.
So. Well, it's awesome. I mean, I should have done this a long time ago, but it's pretty cool now. If anyone watching the video format of the podcast, you'll see the awesome banner that runs across, and you'll see a link, well, not a link, but the web address for Nathan's website. So go check it out. I'll tell you now, Manny Talks Shooting gets you 10% off. So go use it if you want. Don't feel bad.
Use up all those codes.
Yes, use the codes because it just shows them. But no, anyways, guys, go check out Nathan. But let's get to the episode, guys. So Nathan, who are you and how did you get into shooting?
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Nathan Dively. Let's see here. I've been a USPSA shooter, been B class for a while though. But I've been a USPSA shooter for I think 8 years now. And man, it's been a trip ever since. How I got into shooting, man, I can owe it to my lifelong friend from like second grade, getting me into guns in general. Like he, like up until my early 20s, I didn't really care much for guns. Mm-hmm. I was a martial arts guy. And I'm like, I don't need guns. I can handle this and that. But he got me to the range, and he just wanted me to have exposure and, learn how to operate a firearm and shoot. So I said, yeah, okay, sounds good. So we went out with the Sig Mosquito, Walther P22, and just wasted a bunch of 22s. But then a tragedy occurred in the Northeast that put, the Second Amendment. A lot of people thought the Second Amendment was on the chopping block. And so, with the rush by, I was like, oh snap, my rights can be, taken away. This just got real. So I went and bought my first gun. And shortly after that, I got into reloading. And then almost immediately after that, I found USPSA. And it's been a trip ever since though. It's pretty cool. I even remember the first video that I saw that got me into USPSA. And it's here by a guy named Deadeye Steve on YouTube. Do you recognize that name?
Maybe if I was looking at it, but not off the top of my head.
Oh man, he had an old camera attached to his hat, and he was just burning down targets, shooting single stack, I think. And I was like, oh man, this is like a video game. This is pretty sick. And he had like Motley Crue's, like Kickstart My Heart, like playing in the background. I was like, hell yeah, I am in. So shortly after that, I found the nearest USPSA match and got started. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's how I got into shooting, and that's where I'm at now. So
well, that's pretty cool. It's a long kind of progression of it, which is kind of cool. Do you remember what that first firearm you purchased was?
Yes, it was an EAA Witness P compact in 45 ACP. And of course, me being a dummy, not realizing how expensive that was going to be, especially during like a gun scare and things like that, mm-hmm. Especially ammo. So I bought that, and I was like, man, I gotta, if I buy this, I need to learn how to be proficient with this. So I bought all the 45 ACP that I could. And then I was like, man, this is starting to get expensive. And then just got into reloading from there. But yeah, so I shot my first match with that EAA Witness P and like L10, I think. Mm-hmm. And it was just like a lot of people would probably have at the time. It was a rough first match. My rounds were nosediving into the feed ramp. And every single time I reloaded, I would grab a mag. I'd actually pop out 3 rounds, load and shoot. But then I'm like, oh crap, I'm running dry. Well, I ran out of mags. I didn't have any mags I needed. So I was grabbing the rounds that I popped out of the sand, dusting them off, jamming them into the mag, and continue going. And there was the range master who also owned the range. He recently passed, and but he looked at me. I was like, man, I'm just going to give up. A second stage of the day. He goes, man, just stay in the fight. Just stay in the fight. I don't care. And he's like, I don't care if you're the match or in the world. Just stay in the fight. So those words really stuck with me. And I came back the next match and the match after that, and bought more equipment and bought different guns. And yeah, it's been a hell of a fun trip ever since with that.
Yeah. So that Witness P, so that I'm assuming it's a Tank Foglio EAA.
Yeah.
But it's a polymer grip, right?
Yeah, it's a polymer grip.
So it's kind of like the CZ75 Phantom then. Because,
yeah.
Because they did a polymer version of their guns, and that's interesting. I don't know why they decided to make a polymer version of a metal gun.
I don't know, but it was what was available, and I remember it being like $370, and I'll be honest, it looked stinking cool too.
Mm-hmm.
It made me. I was like, man, this looks pretty nice. I like this. And I'll be honest, it's one of the most comfortable guns I've ever shot. I mean, in hand, but the ammo and shooting L10 is just not a thing.
Yeah, especially shooting 45, God's caliber. I shoot a 45, but I can't shoot a 46. All of those. Yeah. I would have not started shooting USPSA shooting 45. It's easy to pick up the brass though. That's for sure.
Oh, dude, the brass, all that brass is mine. I like 100% brass recovery. It was great. And then after that, I think my next gun was an SPO1, but in 40 cal, SPO1 tactical in 40 cal. And I was like, yeah, I love major. I like the major scoring, it keeps me up there in the ranks. But, shooting L10, I just had no one to shoot with here down in the South. So, eventually went to production.
Yeah. Production. I mean, production's okay.
It was fun. I respect it, but believe it or not, I'm actually thinking about going back to production right now, just for the challenge part of it.
You mean to shoot by yourself and then beat yourself, right?
I got to make top 3,
Yeah.
Top 3 in the division, so, and yeah, really, looking at production, like Carry Optics is what I'm shooting now, and it's great. I have a lot of fun with it, but I think I really want to challenge myself a little bit more, especially get myself a lot better with the reloads. And I think production will probably help me, but yeah, just to shoot something different. Everyone's shooting Carry Optics. It's great. But I'll be honest, I really respect Carry Optics, but production, I don't know, just toss up the flavors. I got to switch divisions at least once every couple of years,
And that's totally fine too, because you never know. Although we pick on it for being a dead division, it does have good, principles. And there's still some really fast, good production shooters, even like in the local levels. Like, well, we cut some guy out of the woodworks, came back pretty much to shooting, and he's a GM in production. He's still pretty good. So, but yeah, but I don't even know what he's shooting. I think he's shooting a Tanfo as well. I think he's shooting a Tanfo, because that's what all the cool people shoot nowadays. Well, that or CZs.
That or CZ or CZ-esque, right? Organic, right? Organic, as we saw in the last Nats,
Yeah. Nils is just a freaking beast, though.
Yeah, I mean, he put anything in that man's hand. He'll do well with that.
Oh, absolutely. He definitely will. So if Canic didn't have him, somebody would.
Oh yeah, no kidding. But you know what? I foresee a lot more Canic sales coming in the future.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If people didn't already want to buy them, they're going to buy them now.
Yeah.
So where are you? What state are you located in?
I'm in western part of North Carolina, near Asheville area, and yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm originally from Northeast Tennessee. Like, just put in perspective, near Bristol. Some people will know where Bristol is, and near the Bristol Motor Speedway. And that's where I got my start in USPSA, and really, doing a lot of match shooting out there, Bristol, Greenville, Tennessee.
Gotcha. No, and that's kind of cool. I actually have family who lives down near Asheville in one of the
Really?
suburbs around there. Yeah, it was kind of funny when, of course, when your phone, when it popped up after I'd called, it's like Asheville, Tennessee, North Carolina. I'm like, okay, I know where that is.
Oh snap! Do you ever come down to Asheville for anything?
It's been a couple years since I've come down, but yeah, I still need. It's a beautiful land, and you know what doesn't exist? Snow. Snow doesn't exist.
No, but the funny thing is, we have ski resort or like skiing places and snowboard places, and a lot of people out here that go. We have Sugar Mountain, Beach Mountain. Like we don't experience snowboarding; we experience ice boarding because it's all man-made stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it's cold enough, they'll just run the blowers all night, and you'll go out there during the day. It'll kind of melt during the day, then it'll refreeze at night, and they'll just chop up the ice. And then next thing you know, you're just going down on ice slabs.
Yeah, ice slabs that look like snow.
Oh yeah, and I like after like 4 years of snowboarding in North Carolina ice, I went up to this place called Snowshoe, West Virginia, and it was the first time I actually experienced powdery snow. It didn't hurt when I fell. I was like, oh man, I could just belly flop all day long. It was fantastic. But if you ever come down, man, please come down and visit me. I'll take you around.
Yeah, I always remember it was beautiful down there, and we never had enough vacation time, it seemed like, when we were down there. But I'll have to come down, that's for sure. Now, after you went to the SPO one in 40, what was after that?
So after that, I was like, you know what? I love the CZ platform, especially after CZ took care of me one time because I actually cracked the slide on that thing, just shooting major and shooting a light recoil spring. And I think I won't say his name, but he actually, they just sent me a new gun. And it was all my fault. They knew what I was doing with it. I was honest, put a note in there, and they had a note that says, do not use this recoil spring. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm stuck with CZ for a while. I'm a fan. So after that, I found like an old surplus 1998 CZ 75. And I got it, gutted the parts, and Cerakoted it, and put new innards in it. And I ran production for a while. I shot limited minor with that thing for a while, and holy crap, was that a lot of fun. And then after that, I became like a high cap fanboy ever since. But yeah, shooting limited minor. So a lot of my friends at the time, they were like, nah, you're not gonna place well with that. And well, by golly, I did. It was at the local matches that I attended, and it was a lot of fun. And then after that, I was like, I'm tired of going at a snail's pace. I want to shoot major again. Let's do it. Let's go major. We're going to go open. And that's where after that, I got into open division.
Yeah. With what you said, if I remember right, it was with the Tanfoglio.
Yeah. The Tanfo open gun. Woo, man. I don't think I've cussed with a gun in my hand more than not. Yeah, I mean, I got it because it was affordable. Eric Raffel was shooting it. JJ was shooting it at the time. I was like, okay, if it works for these guys, it's got to work for me. Oh, price point is affordable. Let's get into it. Oh man, what a headache! I had to call JJ a couple times, and he helped me through it, and get the thing working great. But shot 38 Super Comp with that. And it was great, but man, did that thing sling brass though. Like it'd be the brass would just land the next county over. I mean, I spent, but after shooting open for a while, finally unloaded the gun, but because I was getting tired of just looking for my brass all the time, I spent more time at the match with my head down than looking for brass than I was, staying in the game.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine that. And I know a lot of shooters who shoot 38 Super Comp are looking at like, maybe I need to get to something else, maybe a 9 major gun, just because I don't want to have to look for brass all the time.
Yeah, and I tried the same thing. Actually, found a 9. Like they came with a spare barrel, so that is made for factory loads only. So I traded a guy and got the 9mm version of that barrel. It had like a blocked off comp, so it actually took the barrel the compensator to an actual drill press, and bored it out and made into a decent 9 major gun. But at home practicing, it worked great. But whenever I needed it to count at the match, I don't think I actually went through an entire match without any like serious malfunctions where I wasn't at the safe table taking apart that gun.
Yeah, that definitely would be a reason to get rid of that. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I learned a lot of valuable lessons with that, though. What kind of things I need to carry with me to a match, and the importance of being able to detail strip your own pistol, especially if you're going to be traveling, and having the tools to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, you gotta have the tools with you. Or a spare gun altogether, so you can just throw the one away and just grab the other one.
Oh yeah, that's what I did. Like, so I unloaded that open gun, and now I'm shooting the CZ P10Fs. Not the competition one. This is before the competition one came out. They got the optics ready. I got 2 of them. I got 2 optics. So just in the event the battery dies down or anything weird would happen, I just swap guns now. Like, I definitely learned the importance of having a backup gun at a match. And I just can't go to a match with one now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do that with a local. I'll just take one gun, just because it's like it's a local. I can throw it away if it needs to be. But yeah, if I'm going to a major, I gotta have 2 with me.
Yeah. Well, I went to Area 6 about 5 or 6 years ago, and like second stage of the day. I mean, this is when I was shooting that CZ75, and I shot production with it when there was a lot of production shooters at that time. And I think second stage of the day, I had a busted trigger return spring. And I was like, oh, crap. And I looked around, couldn't find a bag. So I was going around to any shooter that was shooting like an SPL1 at that time. I was like, do you have an extra trigger return spring? They're like, no, just get your backup gun. I'm like, okay, I'll get my backup gun. I don't really have one. But somehow one appeared in my range bag, swapped it out, and I was able to finish the match. But I was like, yep. And the funny thing was, like, 5 people told me the exact same thing. Yeah, just get your backup gun, man. So,
yeah. And some people, it's not the right time to have one. A lot of people can afford the one gun at the moment, and you can't go out and get a second one.
Yeah.
Well, shit, even in like, COVID times, you couldn't get, depending on what you wanted, you couldn't find some stuff.
Right. Absolutely right about that. So yeah, shooting carry optics now with the P10Fs, man, I'm having a blast with that. But definitely, shooting minor really humbles me to really aim a whole lot more. I miss major, I'll say that. But I think sometime next year, I'm going to really look at getting a new open gun.
That'd be cool. Open guns are fun. Would you go with like a Checkmate platform, or would you go to like a 2011?
I think I'm going to go for 2011. I shot one of my buddies 2011s, and man, like the control I had with the 2011 in my hand was amazing. And I think I'm going to try to look, see how Masterpiece Arms does, or maybe even look at getting a Bull open gun, getting the Ultimate Racer or something like that. It's I'm not trying to like win majors with those things. I just want something that I could really have fun with. And the people that make those guns or deal with those guns are real close to me, so that's going to be really handy for me.
Oh, absolutely, definitely, that's for sure. And it's always fun to get a new toy, right?
Oh, man, I can't wait. Like getting that, when you get that new gun, you just kind of stare at it for a long time and just kind of all the time.
Yeah. Or you got your rig on all the time and you're just walking around the house and
I've done that.
So at what point was it your idea to start making, so where did this come from? What started this idea of 3D printed magnet?
Okay, so I have to rewind back of my first magnet that I made for myself. I was like, what? There's nothing in the rule books that say I can't use magnets. And, this is when magnets were barely coming onto the scene, right? Like, oh, let me see what I can do with this. Doesn't say it's illegal I got rules check, and I was like, okay, yeah. So what I did, I bought I went through a number of different magnets, and to attach it to my belt, I actually used zip ties. And I used like an old cork board, like a nylon cutting board, and I cut out a couple of discs and then put that up against my belt, and then put the magnet on top. And then, then a couple of years ago, my wife got me as a gift a 3D printer, because I always wanted one just to kind of tinker with. And I was like, you know what? I could probably 3D print stuff for my shooting rig. So I was like, you know what? Let me practice. And the first thing I made was the cap. I was like, oh, that's cool. Well, if I can design a cap, maybe I can design a mount to actually go onto this thing. So a couple years ago, at the very beginning of, I guess, 2020, I started producing and selling these magnetic mag pouches along with the cap. And it's been history ever since. A couple design changes over the time of naturally, and a lot of trial and error. But yeah, I'm at a point where I'm happy where it is ish. I really want to incorporate more metal parts now. So I'm actually looking at getting either a CNC or at least a laser cutter, so I can take those, those plastic back plates. I want to make those metal by second quarter next year.
That'll be awesome. I mean, I do like that you provide like what, 2 in the bag, three, what is it? 2 in the box now of the black and 2 of the blue.
Yeah, I'll send 2 black ones, and those are for standard belts, like standard race belts. Then I'll provide 2 of any of like 2 blues, 2 reds, or whatever color, and those are going to be for like the thicker race belts, and the links system will actually fit on the links belts, because links are starting to come up, and people are wanting my product, and they're like, I don't have a way to mount it. So some person sent me the dimensions, actually 3D printed a mock-up of a links block, and so now everyone gets from now on, we'll get those 4 back plates in a package, just in case you ever wanted to switch belt systems now. So you're not married to just the one. But next year, I'm going to be producing a lot more for the Safari Land belts, because I'm starting to see a lot more of those now. And I know that some people are actually cutting notches into those belts just to house my magnet, which, wow, I'm glad you're doing. I'm glad that you brought my product and you want to use it. But I hate the fact that you have to modify another one of your, belts, cutting it just to put it on,
So are you essentially going to make a secondary bracket then that's 1.75 inches instead of a 1.5?
Yeah, so I'm going to either do that or have a means to do a direct mount, and that way you can just kind of screw it in through those little holes from the Safari belt. And try to look at that as an option. So I'm playing with a couple different ones. I have a couple people lined up that are ready to receive, the alphas, if you will.
Oh yeah. So and that's going to be cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that one though.
Yeah, because there are still a lot of people who are using the ELS belts because they switch around from division to division, and they want certain mags everywhere. Or... But I will say we did have to go through a decent amount of testing to find out which magnets worked the best. Yeah,
so I want to thank you a lot for being so willing to try these out for me. It's definitely worth trying to find to spend the money to try out different kinds. But I'm finally glad we've got that one. I'm really happy with the actual magnet that I'm using now, that 187. It's almost perfect for every use right now.
Yeah, I think the only thing it'll be definitely hard to find a good balance for PCC mag, those big PCC mags, and everyone else's mags. It's definitely going to be a challenge.
And especially because people are using the PCC mags, either like the MBXs or even the big stick block mags for the 9mm PCCs, and those are going to be really hard. So my wife actually drew up a really cool design for like a double magnet system, and it'll be like kind of, you can rotate it and be able to do like the idea is to kind of do like a cross draw kind of thing. I want to call it the katana, to be honest. It could be kind of cool.
Oh, that would be cool. Well, and then just thinking of an idea, it's like, because most of the time, you know, if they're using a plastic Glock mag, you know, it's going to be sticking out so far. Even if you're able to if someone put a sleeve on that Glock mag to then stick it like actual straight up metal onto the magnet.
Whoa.
I mean, we're just going to say
that's wow. I can't believe I never thought of that yet. Like come up with a sleeve to put on the actual magazine itself. That's really cool. That's a really cool idea. Oh, so while we're talking about the magnet, I'm going to address some of the people that are listening to the podcast that are probably using the magnet right now. So, folks, if you haven't, seen the video on Instagram or on YouTube or anything like that, there's a way to actually use these magnets. I've seen at matches where some people have other magnets. They'll actually take the magazine and rip it off forward to detach it from themselves and then load their gun. So folks, if you haven't done this yet, you want to grab the magazine and slide it off the magnet.
Yeah, a lot of people, that's true. A lot of people don't know how to grab it with a magnet. Now, they should learn.
Yeah.
None of these people have seen the fat guy jiggle I had to do to
Dude, that was amazing.
Yeah.
But that's one of those things. I'm glad though, you've proved that it can really work with the Glock mag. It does have its limitations though. But steel mags, you could sprint with that thing on and not have to worry about it falling off you.
Oh yeah. Well, and my favorite job for this magnet, because typically I put it's behind my third pouch, and that's holding a tape gun, a spare mag, so you can just walk around the range with like your tape. Like it's really nice because you might be ROing somebody, and then you're like, oh, I got to tape some targets, and start pasting them with the paster gun.
Yeah, I'm so I see match videos of people posting online, and they have their timer attached to it, or especially pacer guns. I like it just for the administrative aspect. I think you should actually use that same term too. It's just I don't know, it's sort of like a tool belt, but a multi-use attachment for a tool belt thing. I don't know.
Well, and then there's nowadays, like people are going to some people are on their rigs are going to all magnets now that like Henning's got the T900 mag pouches. God, that are $100.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Henning's not worth the price, but God, those are expensive.
No, but one thing's for sure about Henning. I bought things from Henning, and I'm actually about to buy some more things from Henning. You get a quality product. Yeah, you're definitely spending the money, but just to brag about Henning, and like when you buy something from Henning, you don't have to think about it or worry about it. But yeah, that hanger that he got, the T1000. Have you seen those around? I haven't seen many of those in the wild yet.
I've seen them, but I have gone to how many majors? I went to 3 majors this year. So I saw them at a couple of them. One of them I was staffing. Well, 2 of them I was staffing, but I only really saw one instance where the holster could have been farther than it was supposed to be. But it's more due to the holster being farther, like its offset to the hanger itself was a little on the far side. So, but the Henning is super adjustable. It's a really awesome since the Allen key, like the really nice Allen driver with it to adjust it. But it's a cool piece of tech.
Do you think you're gonna get your hands on one and try one?
Probably not, just because I'm going to open, so I'll have my race holster.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But he did make, if you have an Everglades holster, he made it so you can use his T1000 hanger and attach it to the Everglades trigger lock, essentially. Ew. Yep, because he was running the Everglades holster, the MRH, for a while, and he's like, well, I can just make this attachment thingy, and now my race holster is now on a T1000. So,
wow, that's really cool.
And it's way more adjustable than what the Everglades was, but yeah, it's so cool.
That's really nice. When I was shooting open, I ran a CR Speed World Shoot holster, open holster. It was really nice, and but it came with so many tiny bits and pieces. Have you seen that before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, to have something, I mean, it's a great holster. It got me through a lot with open, but if you're going to go open and you can find a super duper adjustable hanger, I think it'd be kind of pretty worth it. But, maybe we'll see an open version of that before too long.
Oh yeah, it'd be super. That'll be cool. That we might. And everyone's innovating because they have to, because they got to stay relevant in the market. They just like even Double Alpha knows that. That's why they came out with a Lynx belt.
Yeah.
So many people are using that. That is ridiculously crazy. And now people are even making attachments for the Lynx belt. Like there's a new GX Products makes a ratchet now that hooks straight up to the Lynx belt, so you can get rid of the O-ring keeper that Double Alpha sells.
Yeah.
Close it. So you then essentially you replace your last two links, put these two new links on that are hooked up to the ratchet system, and then you just ratchet it shut.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually not expecting links to catch on as well as it did, because the double belt system has been tried and true, tested for and proven good for many years, but then the links, and I know that some people had, like when it first came out, like had their reserves about it. I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of it bends in a weird way, but also it's real sturdy in a different weird way.
Right. So like if my hands are the belt, there's no more bend this way away from your body. It's more like this way wiggle, because depending on where you put the pouch, if it's on the link or it's on the cross member or the connection.
Mm-hmm.
From what I see is a lot of people who travel to majors all the time, who are flying, they love the Lynx belt because it just shrinks down so small.
Yeah.
And for someone like me who goes, I'll drive to majors, or I'm just going to locals, I don't care. I'll have a double belt system like my Dominate Defense. Like I don't need something to shrink down. I just clip the belt onto the loops outside my Zuka cart and call it a day.
Mm-hmm. Like maybe if I get to the point where I start like flying for matches, maybe I'll consider the Lynx belt. It's just, no. I'll use things until they break before I consider getting new things anymore, I think.
I really do see it where it's an advantage is like, say you're on a weight loss journey, like, and you really want to get better, but you're a competitive shooter and you're like, well, I got to lose some weight. So you start with so many links, and then eventually you can start popping links out when you start losing that weight. So then you're not having to buy a whole new belt. Well, if you think about it, a Double Alpha Lynx belt's about double the cost of a regular, inner outer belt.
Yeah.
So really you're paying for it, but it's that versatility. Or say your buddy wants to borrow your rig and you buy extra links, and they can make it bigger for them. So, I mean, it's versatile that way.
That is a really good point. I never thought of it that way, because I remember I had my buddy try USPSA, and he's, a bodybuilder and has a bigger waist. And we were just trying to like find different ways to put on different belts. And it actually, for his first match, I think we actually took two belts and wrapped it around him, and, took that little flappy little piece of cloth with the Velcro and put it on two ends of him.
That is pretty funny. And the nice thing is now we don't have the rule about behind the hip bones. So you can just like, we'll make it work. Just get it on their body somehow.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because then even if they had a carry gun, they can use their carry gun like appendix or whatever. So
that's pretty cool though.
Thanks everybody for stopping in the middle of this awesome conversation, Mr. Nathan Dively. Hey, I'm hoping you're enjoying these episodes. They're awesome and I'm enjoying them, but we got to plug the sponsors because it's the middle of the show. It's what I do now. So anyway, don't forget gofastdon'tsuck.net. Go over and check out Go Fast Don't Suck. Go buy some t-shirts, some jerseys, some match banners, dry fire targets, because you need them. Hunters HD Gold, go check out Brian over there. He is awesome, fabulous, coming out with new stuff all the time, being innovative and supporting the shooting sport. So go check out huntershdgold.com. Can't forget to run over to dominatedefense.com. Go get yourself a Mach 1 speed belt combo and use Manny Talks 10 for 10% off that Mach 1 speed belt combo. Best belt in the biz. I say it. Paracast says it. So go out and get yourself one. You'll thank me later. Don't forget to go over to the guy whose this show it's all about. It's divtechshop.com. Go over and get yourself a DivTech magnet because they're affordable and fantastic, and we're innovating with them every single time. So go check them out. Manny Talks Shooting for 10% off your order. Go tell Nathan that you saw the episode. Tell him that you thank him for supporting the shooting sports, and thank you for watching. Don't forget, we've got our friends over at Laugh and Load. Just so you guys know, I have launched a shirt over at laughandload.com. So go to type in laughandload.com on your browser. Go to the middle of the website. You're going to see my logo, Manny Talks Shooting. You're going to find my favorite shirts and my official shirt, the Manny Talks Shooting Get Out and Do the Thing shirt. So go over there, support me, support them. I thought it was only right that they get to launch my shirt because they've been friends since the beginning, and it's been awesome, and I appreciate them greatly. But don't forget, go get yourself a AFT agent shirt and a Supreme Division open shirt, because only shoot open, because that's how our personality is now, because only shoot open guns. We can't forget to run over to our friends at rangepanda.com, Eric Steiner and Gianni Giordano. They're fantastic high-level shooters, and they're always innovating and changing the game. So if you haven't paid attention, Eric is now offering cases, foam cases for cutouts for your open guns and limited guns and some major carry optics guns. But so go check them out, rangepanda.com. Go check out everything you want and need from them. We also can't forget timheronshooting.com, because they're the best, and he got me on the map. So he's an awesome shooter. He's intelligent, top-level guy, awesome single-stack shooter, and go check him out. Find him and where he's going to be next in the shooting sport. So he's always got classes. They're filling up quick, so get on them now. We cannot forget Targets USA, because they are the finest steel targetry on the planet. I say it, Steve Anderson says it, because they are. Go check out targetsusa.com and go get yourself some steel targetry or whatever you may need from him, and tell him Manny sent you, because I'm just here for that. Don't forget, we've got to run over to Chile Custom Gunworks and go get yourself a new grip for your open gun. Go get a grip for your staccato, because you know you need one, because they're plastic and lame. So yeah, go right over and get some stuff from ccgunworks.com and move on with your day. But you need to get to, if you want to be more tactical, put a metal grip on your staccato. If you have a new open gun or limited gun you want built, tell your builder. Chile Custom Gunworks parts go a long way. But last but not least, I think there's one more. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm forgetting how many there are now. It's getting okay, but it's okay, guys. Thank you guys for watching this far into the episode and to the end of the show, because I know you will. Right. So anyways, guys, until next time, we're going to finish this conversation with Mr. Nathan Dively, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.
Have you tried the appendix carry yet in USPSA?
No.
Or do you think you're ever going to try it?
I mean, maybe if I told my friends, if we were going to do a theme of the match, and all right, we'll get like 3 prizes, right? Guy who wins top appendix carry or what, something like that. Then I might do it, but I haven't thought about it, because I just take my race holster and, well, not my race holster, but my competition rig, and I'm all set up. For me, I'd then be fishing reloads out of my pocket. So
yeah,
and that's just no fun.
No.
But
yeah, I don't think. Go ahead.
Well, but it's a really cool way to get people into the sport who want to participate, who really don't have the whole setup yet, but they've got their carry gun, like a Glock 17 or something. So that's always a nice feature.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. When it comes to the whole appendix carry, I had a lot of my reserves about it with that rules change, and I was like, oh man, I can't. It's going to happen. Someone's going to be on the internet, and they're going to have a hole in the front of them somehow, or something like that. But I think I'm glad to be shown wrong with that. Like, a lot of people are a lot more capable than I thought they were. So that's nice.
Yeah, and there's just, I feel it's a certain type of demographic that want to do it. You don't see a bunch of, I don't think I've seen a limited gun, like a true 2011 limited gun, be carried appendix for USPSA. But even at Race Gun Nationals, I had a buddy tell me that one of his friends who was running he was ROing the match, and he had a checkmate that somebody didn't put the safety on before they put it in the holster, and it went off.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so the bullet could have totally taken out somebody's foot.
Jeez.
So and that's a great, yes, that equipment wasn't working properly, but still, I do have a little bit of hesitance, because you never know what could happen to a gun after you cycle it so many times, or the what could break kind of scenario.
Yeah.
But
wear and tear happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I'd be I have my carry guns and I have my competition guns, so
I'm with you on that. like my dad told me this a long time ago. He said like it's like a plane, right?
Mhm.
It's not if a plane crashes, it's when it will crash. All planes will crash, but you just have to, not being in one eventually does. And that's, he really was talking about like wear and tear and things. But yeah, like when it comes to like holstering a weapon, like a thing I do at the make ready, like load, make ready, but in I'll close my legs and then have my feet side to side, then holster, and then I'll have a wide stance again. And I'm always paranoid about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I'm not that paranoid, but yeah, but I know how my trigger is going to react, and yeah, so for the most part, I might try it, but not with my current. I'd probably I'd grab my carry Glock and then just use that in a match.
Well, just take your entire, your production rig that you had, just rotate it 90 degrees and
yeah, that too. I mean, I did this. So this is a funny joke or funny story. My buddy Brian, or anyone who remembers him, he's been on the podcast twice. Reds Dot got banned from IDPA because he was part of that original match that they were shooting at AIWB before Joyce Wilson made it legal. It's like 6 months to a year before she made it legal. Mm-hmm. He got banned, and I sent him this video of I had a Glock holster on a Blade Tech attachment, and I clipped it to the front of my belt. I was just doing draws like outside the waistband appendix carry, and I was just like dick holster, and he just busted up. We both busted up laughing doing it, and it was funny because. And when I see that, I also see the fact that you could break the 180 coming out of the holster, and I don't know, and. That's on the shooter though. I mean, like you got to be really aware of that stuff, or the person paying attention to them drawing from appendix.
Right. Well, I have to give props to the guys that actually do this in matches, do appendix carrying matches. Like they train hard not to break the 180. Mm-hmm. From the people that I've encountered that, that say they trained with that. So I'm really impressed with that, especially with the about face and draw and things. I'm like,
yeah. You got to be on your toes, I think, when you're doing that.
Yeah.
And you really got to find the dickish RO who's going to be like, yeah, it's like you got to be for sure that they've broken the 180 before you call it. So
yeah.
So how many majors did you shoot this year?
None this year.
Why's that?
I know, right? I think I'm the only person that said none. On your show. Mm-hmm. Next year, I'm going to be definitely hitting up A6, Carolina Classic is what I want to do. And I really want to do the Atomic Blast just because it's real close by. That's one in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. If they do it at Oak Ridge again. And let's see here. Yeah, those three I definitely want to do, at least A6. And if I can, try to go up north a little bit more into Virginia and try a couple matches there. But if I'm able to, find time and things, I'd like to try to go for Nats just to have that experience. Something I've always wanted to do. I can believe I've never done it yet. I never found a spot for it. And I'd like to go and try that out. Just see how I fare, to be honest.
Yeah, especially since you live in North Carolina, it's not too awful far from either national spot. So, because you got Cardinal Center in Ohio for next year. Yep. And then if you shot like Open PCC, it would be down in Talladega again. So that's not a too awful far drive.
No. Yeah, I really, I'd like to go and, see that match in Talladega and, eat at the Applebee's down there. I heard it's the spot to go to.
Everyone likes Applebee's. Well, I mean, you got that late night, you got that, the Oreo shake, 2 straws, 1 check, because I got you. Oh, that song is horrible. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. No, I agree. I want to go to nationals next year as well. I just to fit it in or something, or find the time, or find the vacation time off work is the more tricky part.
So are you gonna? Do you think you're gonna try to work the match?
I'm thinking so because I'd love to work nationals. I've got plenty of majors under my most decent amount of majors under my belt, so I think I can go and work nationals. I've got how many am I working this season? Well, 2023, I've got Michigan, Ryan Rocks, Area 5. I've got at least four major matches that I'm working, so I might have a fifth one. The list keeps growing, it seems like, though. So
seems like you're gonna have to do this like as a part-time job. Sounds like eventually.
I mean, I kind of treat it as a part-time job, but it's especially with like growing my club and being involved like on a more of a the grassroots level of putting on the match, all the local matches. It's definitely building up to major matches. So like any stage I'd put in a local match, I would put in a major match.
Yeah.
Like, and it's because it's tuned enough to go into a major. I mean, there might be a little things we'd have to tweak, do for, just on the safety side, and or, we're putting a swinger up here, so we got to hang up extra crap for all this, for the swinger or whatnot. But I'd put any of those, because I think of it like that. It's like, what could go into a level 2 match, a level 3 match?
I like it. Like, there's a guy near, what do you call him? That does matches down in Greenville, Tennessee. And he puts on some really fun stages, like he does a good, there's some matches that he'll do a really good job in making sure that every stage has options where, like, let's say a squad of 8 of us, right? We'll go up to a stage. Half of us are going to be shooting it way different than one. So those are things I really appreciate in a stage, not like, here's the course of fire, everyone's going to shoot the same. If you give me options, I'm going to try to exploit the options. I like to try to think,
Oh yeah, and I agree. You got to have stages with options. I mean, sometimes there is going to be the obvious plan, but you still give the people options of, oh, you could take this here or here. But and I think the biggest thing I've been working on this year when I'm designing stages for 2023 is having, what skill am I testing here? Instead of shooting really fast and running really fast, like when my shooting on the move, testing your shot calling on far steel, or all that kind of stuff. Or can I blend shooting on the move and hitting a spot and shooting these targets, and giving enough options there, yet making it an interesting stage, because sometimes there is mental overload. Like on memory stages, you're like,
yeah. I'm with you on that. Like, I really appreciate those stages that are like even though they're in a short bay, you can only do so much. But like, it looks fast. We'll have to put tuxedos on there, put zebras on there, just to slow you down, or cause you to slow down if you want to slow down.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of things when it comes to stages. Like, you think about it, you give them enough time to speed up, like with open paper. And then you got to really slow them down with either a no shoot or a hard cover. And then one thing I've been learning even more is, like, when do you put a no shoot and when do you put hard cover? Or honestly, like, my favorite thing to use hard cover for is to protect props or the walls. Like, so if I really don't want you shooting at this wall, I'm going to put hard cover on this target. So you're going to aim away from my wall, so you're not shooting it.
Wow.
Because I don't want to replace walls, because when they're full of bullets, it's a pain in the butt.
Oh, we have a guy that in Tennessee we have PVC walls, right? The frames are made of PVC sometimes, and I tell you what, he is a master. If someone shoots at one of these PVCs, the shatters, right? That man, he'll be down there within 2 minutes with his golf cart or his Jeep. He'll have that thing fixed and swapped out in less than 1 minute. Like, it's impressive. It's annoying that he has to do it, but that's impressive though.
Yeah. So I'm assuming then, like, the snow fence is like zip tied to the PVC.
Yeah.
So that's nice. I guess I wonder what's more affordable though, the PVC wall or like a wood wall, because the cost of lumber.
Yeah. The cost of lumber is, coming down out here, and I think we all still prefer the lumber. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I haven't priced that stuff.
Well, it is a lot lighter to carry PVC walls, though. It's a lot.
Oh yeah,
a lot lighter.
Darn tootin' it is, especially when you have tear down stages. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Or even set up stages.
Yeah, that's the trick is like people, we use a lot of mini poppers at in my club. Because one, we don't have a lot of full size poppers, but they're so much easier and lighter to carry. That's why we
Yeah.
use the minis. And that's it's preferable. Yeah, you got to, they're a little bit smaller. You put them out a little bit farther, makes them a little scarier, but they're fun.
Yeah, I prefer the minis over the big ones anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have to aim.
Yeah. Aiming is fun. Aiming is fun, but it's really cool is when you can just, you paint the dot over the steel and you're just like, and you break the shot and you ping, 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 and they just start falling down. And then you're not like really focused on the aiming aspect. You're just kind of going through it, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Have you taken any formal instruction for competition shooting?
No, but I want to so bad now. I've kind of like slowed myself down, especially in the last couple of years because of the COVID and not going out and things like that as much. But I'm ready to put rounds down range, but I don't want to waste them anymore. So I really want to take a class, and I'm thinking about going down to at least checking out Gilbert Perez and taking a class from him. He's a GM down in Knoxville or around Knoxville, and he's also the guy that deals with bull pistols.
Oh, okay.
GP arms, Gilbert Perez, and so that's a goal of mine. And honestly, whoever is close by to me, I like to go over and take a class. Any instruction is going to be good instruction. Because I really want to break the crest of getting out of B class. And my goal next year, I want to hit M class next year. And not just to hit the paper, but I really want to be M class and be up there, higher on the leaderboards with an actual M next to my name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a good aspiration. That's myself is something I've been looking at too, is like getting out of B and here's the hardest part about B. You can either have a great run or a crappy run and still hit B class. And the fact is, it seems like that as your skill progresses, it's sometimes the better you get, the sucky runs are still in B because they're just good enough to count. They just drag you down a little bit. And it's just like, and I can understand some people's gripes with the classification system and how they think it should be only major match bumps or major match performances. But not a lot of people, not all the shooters go shoot majors.
No, absolutely no. I really, honestly, I'm fine with it the way it is. To be honest, I mean, could it be improved? Sure, but I don't know how. I can't contribute to it. I mean, I'm fine with it the way it is. The way it is. I mean, I'm no sandbagger. I'm always going to give my best every single stage, every single classifier. And when I suck, I suck. When I rock, I mean, it's awesome. But the ones that I sucked at, is like you said, it's going to drag me down. But I think also some people have that hate that, classifiers are sort of like a moving target, trying to get to the different tiers because, especially, getting to that 100%, right? The people that, zero hear that thing and really getting like, let's say 101, 102%, that's only going to increase the hit factor level a little bit more and bring you that much further away hit factor wise.
Oh yeah, exactly. And it's, yeah, I don't mind classifiers. I like the newer ones. The ones with movement are nice.
Yes,
but you have to have a good mix of them. We hardly put out classifiers. Like we'll do I think we need 4 for the year. So like we'll have 4 classifiers out, for a couple months. But other than that, we'd much rather have field courses in our local match than have to set up a classifier.
So I'm gonna ask you this. So when it comes to your training this year, what because I know listening to your show, you have you asked everyone about our goals. What about your goals specifically? Like when it comes to what skills do you want to have improved upon for this next shooting season coming up?
That's a good question. Well, first off is going to be when I get the new up, I'm going to get super familiar with it. So get all my manipulations back to where they were. This year, I kind of took a break from really dry firing much, just due to life at home, and really not having the ambition to dry fire the carry optics gun. Like since Area 5 in July, I haven't shot a match in carry optics. I've shot my carry optics gun in open, just to be give me something to work on. And because the few classifiers we did shoot, it's like, well, they're worth something now instead of just, oh, I'm fiddle fucking and carry optics.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna get my my gun manipulations down, draws, reloads. I'm gonna have to get used to manipulating a manual safety on a gun again, because I pretty much only shot Glocks.
Yeah.
So get gun manipulations down, but really focus on that grip, the support hand grip in particular, because from what I've found, my shooting, I can shoot fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't have support hand grip, shots go everywhere, points go down, and I'm giving up, how I call it is I'm hemorrhaging points.
Okay.
So I can have competitive times with my class or like B class or A class guys, and even M's, but it's like I lose points. Like, so if I have the same speed or the same time, say we both shot this in 10 seconds, but I have 4 Charlies and a lot more, well, like I've got 4 alphas, like 6 Charlies and 2 deltas, and the other guy's got a lot more alphas than I do. I just lost a bunch of points.
Mm-hmm.
So the hit factors just get going down. But when I really focus on that crushing of my support hand grip, sights track better, they stay in the alpha zone, and they're still wicked, the time is competitive at that point. Yeah. So really,
I'm with you. Like for me, I'm going to be definitely focusing a whole lot more on, grip and consistency. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest weak point, especially after a reload. Recovering the grip after reloading is really terrible for me. Mm-hmm. But I feel like my speed is good, and my flow is something I'm going to be paying a lot more attention to. Especially like going through a stage, a lot of people think that, go fast only, you have to have a good flow, like an efficient flow, especially if you're shooting open. Because there are going to be a lot of times where, you can take the shot on the move. And if you're shooting, iron sights before, or not used to shooting on the move, especially major, and try to go fast, you're going to want to shoot on the move a whole lot more often. So like working on flow is something that definitely you should work on as an open shooter. And when I shot open, that was something I was really, really good for. And for me, like I think my footwork is really good, to be honest. I think dancing really helps with that. And for me, like my times are up there. They're really good, but I always do something stupid. Like I'll have like a 2-second reload or something like that. Cause I'll just like, let's go. And I'm like trying to, try to jam that up in there.
Yeah. And that's really where I like watching video. I love putting the sky cam up, and I have it running for a whole shooter ahead of me, or maybe even a whole shooter behind me, so I can kind of compare stage plans. I haven't figured out how to ghost over anything yet, but I want to try to figure that out so I can equally compare, stages to stages, to kind of see, where, even though you can compare the times, you really can't compare like the exact plans and whatnot. But stupid slow reloads, they suck, especially when you think about it, you're just giving up time. Or if you run slow, like I have a friend of mine, she will be renamed anonymous, but when she does a load or when she moves, she just has no urgency in her movement. Like it's you got to move. Like if you want to be, because she's pushing from C to B, or trying, that's her goal, is to get to B, and it's like, well, you got to move. Like if you're gonna shoot with B class guys, you can, if you shoot good, you still got to move good.
Yeah, still got to move good. Yeah. Well, when I was shooting open for a while, it was really funny watching me run, because I was just sprinting as hard as I thinking could, right? And the guys for a while called me a squirrel on a crack for a while, because I just have, my feet would literally scurry and things. But I learned that I didn't need to do it that hard. I just had to be a lot more efficient in the directions that I'm going and things like that. Like I'm starting to get to the point where, like, I look at a stage plan and I'll actually ask myself, does geometry say that stage plan is good? No. I need to take the hypotenuse of a right triangle instead,
Yeah. Well, or in which order do you take it? Especially those start anywhere stages. You're like, what can I do to cut out a position? What can I do to is it going to save me time to take this wicked lean on this target and not be in this position as long? Yeah. And there's so much things to stage planning other than the fact of get your plan and memorize it. Is I think everyone's like, true, like written laws, get your plan and memorize it.
Yeah. And don't do like a lot of us always did, changing last second. I'm guilty. And things.
If I do that, it's gotta be like a splitting hairs, I think, right? Like if I'm gonna do it, it's like, I see the advantages here, or it's a simple fix. Like, it's like, I'm gonna take this target instead of putting it in the second position, I'm gonna take it to the third position because I'm already there.
Or like the last match I went to, there was a spot where you can take the long shot on one target, or you can do a stupid hard lean at the very end to get a fast transition and get the close-up shot. And it was a presented option. And like a lot of people took the latter, and they were falling at the very end, like doing hard lean and just falling backwards, trying to take the last one and tumbling. It got to the point where it was getting dangerous though, but there's a couple people that actually try to go in between and try to charge up and take a medium shot on the move, trying to get the last position instead of trying to take the dangerous fall and things like that. It's really interesting to watch how that went, but yeah, I would rather take the safer move than really commit myself to something possibly dangerous and still miss.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I agree with you on there. Now, and especially if I'm already set up in the position and I'm already shooting multiple targets from the position, I might as well just take it there then. So then you know, at least that's my go through, especially with our style of stages up here. If you already have to go there in the beginning and it's there and it's available, you might as well take it because longest capacity dictates it. Because say you're a low cap shooter and it doesn't make sense to kind of stand there and do standing reloads. So
that's what I'm trying to get my buddy to get out of doing right now. He's still new to USPSA, only got a few like maybe 6 or 7 matches now, and he's wanting to do standing reloads a lot. I get that he wants to, do that, but he wants to have a better hit factor. I was like, well, if you want a better hit factor, you got to do this. Go ahead and try it. But something we're doing now, especially with him, is like getting to the match extra early, just to walk stages. That way he can get his plan in place. And the last match, wow, he really improved. His hit factor increased like 2 whole points the entire day. It was incredible previous matches, so it was really good.
Yeah, and I think those guys, because I do see those people a lot who, they want to do this. They either do the standing reload a lot or they want to. It's like, I think they forget to count how many rounds are really in when you start shooting the stage. Yeah, it's like, okay, it's 32 rounds, so I have to do a reload somewhere. But they're not really counting as they go.
Yeah.
They're just like, or they don't account for the makeup shots, right? It's like, oh, I got this is a 20 rounds until I reload, but there's steel there. So and then they run dry because they shoot multiple at the steel. But
yeah, see, that's the thing I was kind of account for is like, I know my skill level, I know what I can miss at. So I'll actually factor in makeup shots, which a lot of people really hate on that, but so that just shows that I do need to take a better, take classes or just do gooder, right?
Right. Well, and I would say there's nothing wrong, my personal opinion, of accounting for makeup shots. Like, okay, I got 23 in the mag or 24 in the gun, so I can plan this to be like a 19 round 20 round mag, but I have some leftovers.
Yeah, but it's also really satisfying, like if you do end up making makeup shots and you're on your last bit, like your final shot it is slide lock. I'm like, yes, I did plan that well enough.
Right. Or it's what, like, I don't know how many bullets you can fit in your P10F mag, but like if I'm cramming and stuff in like a Glock mag, it's like 24. Well, it's 23 plus 1 on in my gun. So on a 24 round stage, I'm like, is it worth it? Yes. You do the loaded start and you shoot all the targets in your 24 rounds and you end at slide lock and you're golden.
Yeah. Man, I hate those 24 round stages because I'm at 22 plus 1. I have to do reload somewhere. I'm like, I will risk it for the biscuit on those sometimes. Just go slide lock.
Yeah, but if you have the option. What some people really like to do is do those 22 round stages. So then you it's either you either do it or people do the reload. And I think if you've got I guess this is a general stage planning talk, but if you've got the option of you have to move at a decent amount, might as well throw the reload in anyway instead of be safe. Yeah. So, I guess this is a good question. What is something that current Nathan would love to tell past Nathan about shooting?
Don't be cheap. Yeah, that is something I, don't be cheap, really. Like, buy once, cry once kind of situation. Try not to cheap out on every piece of equipment, because that means I went through so many belts, so many different mag pouches, so many different things I didn't need to. 3 different reloading press setups, and don't be cheap, and especially with that open gun, and dry fire more. 8 years in now, I can really attest to, you get what you put into the sport. Now, am I A class, M class? No, but I am where I am because I haven't, dedicated as much time as I really should, because I really want to be at those levels, higher levels. I just need to get myself to where I do that kind of dry fire, and also a whole lot of movement training. So yeah, put in more time is what I would say to myself, and don't be cheap.
Right. I mean, those are good things to live by. I mean, because buy once, cry once. And then the problem is they always make something better though. Like 2 months after you buy it, and it's like, are you kidding me? You couldn't have told me this was coming.
Yeah, it sucks. But there's a lot of things I wish I could have done, but yet again, all those were lessons learned for me.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and I agree. I've done that. Like I don't know how many mag pouches I've gone through, or so many mag pouches. Luckily, I have a lot of holsters. Holsters was always a pain in the butt. But yeah, I agree. Buy once, cry once kind of thing, and stop sucking.
Yeah, stop sucking. Exactly that. And also, really commit to physical training. As trying to think back, like what I do now, because like whenever I go to the gym now, I'm actually training for gun holding strength now at the gym. Yeah. So I'm at Planet Fitness, and I drank the purple Kool-Aid. It's cheap, they have what I need, right? But I'm actually doing things at the gym where I'm actually pulling down and actually working on the strength of holding the gun and things. And I'll tell you what, it makes a difference for me. Like after going a couple days and during the week, and then at the end of the week, man, my grip and handling is so much more rock solid.
So you don't feel the gymtation or what?
Gym intimidation or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh no, at the Planet Fitness out here, everyone's showing off, man. It's really funny. Like at the gym here, we got a bunch of like Instagram girls out there trying to record themselves at the gym, and it's like kind of sickly annoying, but you got some dudes who are really trying to get in the work. But I've never, it's kind of, Planet Fitness is a really funny thing. It's really, it's a place where this one, where the people that don't have access to a real good gym that really need it, especially if they're doing like serious bodybuilding, they're like modifying the equipment out there for what they need. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
And you got the people that, are there just for the recording of themselves. And that's really funny, honestly. I like watching the drama as it unfolds out there.
Yeah. Or they got to set up their tripod or something, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I had someone like, hey, like, stop. I'm recording here. Can you go around? I'm like, are you serious? And I'm like, okay, whatever. But I think the funniest thing I think I've seen was where this young lady was recording herself, and a dude was watching, just like admiring her working out, I guess, right? Well, she has it on camera, and she looks over, was like, hey, quit creeping on me and trying to look at me. He goes, what are you talking about? I'm going to see you on Instagram tonight anyway.
That's so funny.
I was not prepared for that. I was drinking, I was spitting my drink. I was
that's so true. That's so funny. But she had nothing to say after that. But
no, she didn't. Like he was generally a follower of hers on Instagram.
Yeah. Well, because she's got to wear that like branded apparel, right? Like where it's got their Instagram handle and everything. Or
yeah, she did. She had she did have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was really funny. She was recording for Instagram. I was like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I think if I was ever one of those people, I would just have my own like gym at home, like or like some private like freaking garage or essentially, and just be able to go work out there and do it there instead of.
You know what I really think would be really beneficial for me again is like trying CrossFit. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'll be honest, I felt really good doing it though, and I felt a really good performance. But the thing is, like for me at the gym, I can't direct myself on how to do things well at the gym. I actually need someone to tell me what to do and make sure I'm not killing myself at the same time.
Yeah, I like the WODs, like the workout of the days. Those are always kind of cool. Like somebody else put it, like, because my thing is like, if I go to the gym or when I went to the gym, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm going to get on the treadmill and start there. And it just seems like I was always on the treadmill and then go to the elliptical. And then I'm like, I guess I'll do a little bit of arms and shit and then go home.
Exactly. You made it, but the big thing is you made it through the door, and I'm still struggling with that.
Yeah. And that's definitely the hard part is making it through the door. And it's just like making the time or when do you go? It's like, especially now, depending on what shift people work, it's either, oh, great, you can go in the daytime when no fucker is there, or you got to go at 4 a.m. when all the pre-work people are going. And it's like, do I really want to be here right now? Or do you do it after work? Or
Oh, so speaking of workout things that really help for shooting, something that you should probably try. I think I made mention to this to you like a long time ago, maybe. Take up dancing.
I don't think you have, but this might actually, I mean, well, how people say about ballet, right? So, you go do ballet to be a better football player. And that's been years ago since I've heard that stuff.
Oh, no, like for real. Like, so one thing I pride myself is that I have good footwork, right? Really confident footwork. And I contribute that to years of salsa dancing, right? And so I really think that if you try that, hey, I'll even do video lessons with you.
All right, there we go.
And teach you how to dance and things. But like just like foot placement and shifting of your weight really, really can help, especially if you're going to be going to open man. I think you'd be doing it. I'm talking to you like I'm a GM shooter, aren't I? I'm B class, but
hey, you're a GM salsa dancer, right?
Yes.
See, exactly. So you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely am actually.
So this is, I guess, we're near the very end. So do you have any actual sponsors or people you like to plug on a day, on a basis?
No, I don't actually have any sponsors, but a couple of people I really do want to plug. I really wanted to, make a shout out for my man Jason with Brass Monkey Bullets. I don't have a code for him, but man, like he's real close to me. I was there when he was just making his first bullets to sell and things, and I'm glad to see he is where he is now. So yeah, check out Brass Monkey Bullets. GP Arms with Gilbert Perez if you want to check out some 1911s, 2011s, and especially the Ultimate Racer. If you want to get a bull Ultimate Racer, check him out. And Wholesome Out Concealment, man, Roger here, he's real close by to me, and he makes holsters, and he does a really good job. And a lot of the people in Northeast Tennessee run his holsters. They're really good, really fast, and really. I like him a lot. I have him on one of his holsters on one of my rigs. So
right. Well, there you go. And if you do want a discount code for Brass Monkey Bullets, go TTBMB. So Tanfo Timmy Brass Monkey Bullets for 5% off. So Timmy, I know you'll probably be listening, so we plugged your code. But go get some Brass Monkey Bullets from Jason. Even though now they're green, so they're not really brass. I mean,
they're not really brass colored.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say it's been patinaed, but I mean, we'll go with that, right?
I dig the green, to be honest. I kind of dig it, but I do miss the gold look too.
I still have gold bullets. When I ordered the bullets, I ordered a case of bullets before they switched to the green ones, and I'm like, all right, this will work.
Yeah, I still have, I think 5,000 loaded up. They're gold. Thanks.
Yeah, they're I like their bullets. Their bullets did really well for me. Especially when you could get them next day. They ship them that day or next day. So.
Oh man, I love like whenever I go home to visit my parents or something like that. He lives in my hometown. Well, I'll be like, hey, let's see, what can I load up in my car?
Right, exactly.
I'll take care of shipping. It's okay. Yeah, so those are the main folks I want to give a shout out to. And yeah, guys, if anyone wants to come over, check out my website. Use Manny Talks Shooting as a discount code.
Mm-hmm.
You can use Tanfo Timmy if you want to use Tanfo Timmy also.
No, we don't use Tanfo Timmy.
No, we don't use Tanfo Timmy.
Only for Brass Monkey bullets.
No, for real though. Like you guys use up Manny's discount code, get yourself 10% off. That covers your entire order, and yeah, and I'd be glad to take good care of you guys, especially if you have any questions with magnetic needs or just have questions about magnets in general. I'd be glad to help you with that. I'm going to be putting more things on the website. I'm going to put up some blogs, short videos on the website now, and I'm going to put some files on there for you to download, like USPSA checklist you can print out, and my wife's version of the checklist, which is downright hilarious. Yeah, she puts in a lot of good burns on me on that one. So
those are always the best ones, right?
Oh man, I'm so proud of that list, to be honest.
That'll be really cool. And if you need any content for it, just let me know and I can make something. So
I'll be great. That'd be great. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So yeah. Where can they find you on the internet though, other than the website?
Oh yeah. So on Facebook, just Nathan Dively, Dively. You can reach out to me there. On Instagram, DivTech Shop, at DivTech Shop. Those are the places where I'm going to be and most active. So if you send me a message on Facebook or Instagram, I'll be glad to get back with you as quick as I can. I usually try to return your message within 24 hours. And yeah, and if you guys that already have my magnets have any pictures with you rocking it or videos, send them my way. I'd love to post them on the website and post them up online and things.
Mm-hmm. That'd be awesome. Well, Nathan, thank you for coming on. This has actually been really fun for me, and hopefully the listeners learned a little bit about our ramblings.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was like just a cool, like chill out, rambling on about things. So yeah.
But that's what these are about, right? This is kind of like you're having a beer, sitting down with each other, but it's through the power of the internet. So, well, Nathan, thank you for coming on, and listeners, thank you for listening. Until next time, get out and do the things, and I will see you on the next one.